All right, what's up, YouTube? I want to try this again. I just made a video outside, and no lie, I said everything I had to say. When I came inside I did a playback, and I did it in slow motion the whole time. So it was like a 10-minute video, and it was all slow motion. So I'm redoing it inside. Anyway, it was hot outside anyway. It's like 83 degrees today, and then next week it's supposed to get chilly again. And so I wanted to talk about, I've been in this flare up ever since basically we've come back from Tennessee the first week of January. Like, the minute we got close to the state, I felt the pressure changing in my head and just my headaches. They were coming back, and I think that's what people get confused. They think it's like regular headaches or migraines when it's not. A Chiari headache is totally different from a regular headache, and Tylenol doesn't help. Ibuprofen doesn't help my headaches, and I'm on medications, and I've taken so many different medications, and nothing touches Chiari headache. It's basically, I tell everyone now, my brain is hurting. I don't know how else to explain it, because people think it's just something that I could just take care of. If it was that easy to take care of, I would be a lot happier and not be dealing with a bunch of symptoms still. Going on year 4 of my Chiari surgery, and I've felt it over the years, especially since last year. I felt it. It seems like it's starting to progress, and my head pressure is getting worse and worse. I've explained before, I had cervical issues, and I was supposed to do an MRI of my neck last week, but I just didn't feel good, because every time I do an MRI, when they put that little cage thing around your head and your face, you can't move your neck. And I always leave not feeling good, and the time I get home, my face is puffy, my eyes are bloodshot, and I just don't feel good. My flare-up has progressed since last week. The last couple of days, I've been mostly laying on the couch. This is like my first day standing up, but I just picked up my son from school because I just wanted to get out and see how I felt. Luckily, his school is right around the corner. But my head has just been, that's why I don't have my glasses on. It just hurts. The pressure in my head is just so severe, and no matter what I do, nothing helps. I've talked to other people. They said that their flare-ups have been pretty bad, and people say, well, what can help you? Literally nothing. I'm on medication, like I said, but it just takes the edge off. If I wasn't on my medication, I could feel the difference. But when it comes to these flare-ups, I just can't. I don't know how to manage them, especially when they're bad. It's hard to sleep. I'm constantly up. I'm tossing and turning, because if I lay down on my back of my head, that starts hurting and it gets uncomfortable. The pain, literally all night, it wakes me up, and it just sucks, because when I'm in a different climate, like say in the mountains at Gatlinburg, I'm always so much better. I feel like more like myself. I get my symptoms, but I could go out and do stuff and go on walks, and my kids see the difference, my wife sees the difference. But when I'm here, it reminds me of why I don't do well in this state, and with the heat and the weather climate, and it's just, there's so much up and down with the weather here, especially with the pressure. When these cold fronts come, I look forward to them because I do better in the cold, but here, the pressure that comes with the cold fronts is just brutal, and I just don't know what else to do. Like, I want to live in a better climate that has all 4 seasons, and I could, do a little better at least, and be able to enjoy, everything, especially with my kids. I want them to see me happy at least, and being able to go out, even if it's just for, once in a while. Here, we go on a car ride, and 10 minutes into the ride, I could just feel my head pressure just filling up slowly. And, a lot of other people say they do better in heat, and like me, I do better in cold, but it's crazy how Chiari affects everyone so differently. It's the same condition, but everyone thrives differently in different climates. But then I know people that can't handle the heat here, and their doctors say, you should live in a cooler place, and Florida doesn't mix well with Chiari. Several of my doctors have told me that, but it's a conversation that I'm having with my wife. I'm 40 now, I'm gonna be 41. Do I keep spending all my years here feeling like this? Even when the flare-ups subside, I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna go do something, and by the end of the day, I'm back in the flare up, or my head hurts and just everything hurts, and then it takes me a couple days to recover. And I don't think anyone really truly understands what we go through. You know, even the people that don't know how we feel, you know, they're always quick to judge and assume things, that we're doing this on purpose, or it can't be that bad. You had surgery, you know, surgery should have cured you, which is not the case at all. For those who don't know, surgery just slows down the progression, and you know, that's a whole nother topic. But even being on my year 5 of my actual diagnosis, it was 2021, I still have to explain what Chiari is, and you know, I do a lot of content, or I make visuals and slides to explain like how I feel, and others use it to show their friends and family, but for some reason it doesn't click when I do it. But I'm glad my content is able to help others, because that isolation feeling, I still feel isolated from everyone on the outside. You know, my wife and kids, they're, you know, if it wasn't for them, it would be a lot harder, but we just feel isolated down here, and like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You know, I don't want to get into too much detail. I don't want to upset anybody, but we just feel isolated, and I feel like they don't really truly understand what I'm going through. My wife sees it all the time, you know, the emotions and the ups and downs. She sees everything. I do a pretty good job at hiding it when I'm out in public, because I don't want people to think, oh, he's just doing that for attention. I'm really not. So I just wish others understood what we go through, and just took the time and read everything I put out there, and how it affects us. You know, when it's your brain, you can't just put an on and off switch. All right, I'm gonna shut this off so this doesn't hurt. It's literally, our brain is hurting. Like, I could feel my brain pulsating sometimes in the back of my head, and it just hurts. There was a few times yesterday where I was just on the couch with a blanket over me, and I had to put my head in the blanket and just close my eyes, because I don't want to start my anxiety, because I get pretty bad anxiety, especially when it comes to these conditions. So I had to calm myself down, because, you know, if you have an anxiety attack with it, you just want to go to the hospital right away. And so I just wanted to give a little update and talk about flare-ups and how the flare-ups affect you. If you're in a cooler climate, do you still get a lot of flare-ups, or do you do bad in cold weather and better in heat? Because, you know, the summer's coming up here in Florida, and this heat it's I can't stand it. It's just humid and sticky out. So yeah, my wife and I, we've been talking about like what the future holds, and you know, for my health, like do we move out? Do we go to a different state? And just like, I don't put me in front of everything. My wife notices that as like, you need to do you're the one that's going through all these health issues. You deserve a better life. And if that's, you know, if it takes moving out and trying this again, you know, she's willing to do it, because she's tired of seeing me suffering, and feels like I'm suffering alone. And it's just a crappy feeling this way, and then just being isolated on top of it doesn't sit well. It doesn't make the situation any better. But yeah, I want to do this little update, so you guys leave in the comments like how you guys been doing, how do you guys deal with like family and friends disregarding you, you know, thinking that it's an easy thing to do, or take Tylenol, or does anything else help? Can you do this? Can you do that? Like, what do you tell your family members and friends? Because I'm out of things to say, and I'm at the point where I need to do what's right for me too. And it's not like I'm in my 80s or 90s. I'm still young. I shouldn't have to stay at a place just because, but I want to be able to thrive more and do more, and at least be able to live comfortably, even if the place has 1 month of hot heat compared to Florida, where it's like all year round. But yeah, I'm still trying to get a hold of doing YouTube videos, so I'll get better at talking. It's just, I'm in a lot of pain right now. I don't even have my glasses on. My face is swollen. I just don't feel good at all. But yeah, leave a comment and tell me what you guys think. What future videos you would like to see, like what topics you want to talk about. When I get hopefully more followers, we could do Q&As and stuff, and go from there. All right, you guys take it easy and take it one day at a time. That's all we could do.